Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I have a bunch of inks to show you. It's going to be one big video for these, I think, because I just don't have that much time before the DC Pen Show kicks off, and I want to make you aware of these so you can go and get them like as ASAP as possible, because I just got them in the house. So we have two things from Papier Plume today. One is the second Sno Ball Party set, which is very fun, and then after that I have this very cool ink which will be launching at the DC Pen Show and available in their shop after that, as long as they can get the components to make it. So that'll be coming up next. So I'm not going to do full reviews of these because it would just be, this is 6 inks and it's just kind of way too many. So we're going to take a look at these and I will show you swatchings and that sort of thing. I will tell you, Papier Plume inks, I've used a bunch of them and you've seen a bunch of them on this channel, including the original Sno Ball series, which I will have linked at the end of the video if I can remember to do so. And those were all great. So I was very excited to get these in hand, and I went ahead and just like swatched them out on one of my Twitch streams. So join me on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you can. We swatch inks, we play with paper, we, I don't know, color with crayons, like whatever we feel like doing that day, mostly just chatting around and talking about pens and stuff. So that's where I did these. And so let's take a look inside this cool box, which is, I think, a very fun little set. New Orleans is known for this snowball phenomenon. There are lots and lots of different shops that have like snowball stands and that kind of thing. Snowballs are like shaved ice and a whole bunch of other stuff. It gets complex out there, and there are a zillion flavors. So these are 15 ml bottles, which are pretty darn cute, and they all say fountain pen ink don't consume, which is solid advice, I think. But they have a little color on here. They do not include the name of the ink, which I would have liked. I think it would have been nice to, you know, put that on there, but at the same time, it's fine. Like, they have a little card in here that tells you what it is, and just keep it in its little box and keep them all together, and I think it'll be fine. It also comes with a little napkin because you need that, a straw, don't drink the ink, but it's there, and then a cute little spoon, which you could use for swatching. I didn't because I wanted to keep it clean and all that, but cute little spoon. So nice little snowball accessories there in this set. Like I said, the first set came out last year and had colors like tiger's blood and spearmint and such, and this one has nectarine, king cake, green apple, cafe au lait, and blue raspberry. Now, I'm surprised to see flavors like cafe au lait and king cake in this series, but I mean, I guess I probably shouldn't be too surprised. I think that's kind of great that they're doing this wild set of snowball flavors and that sort of thing out in New Orleans. I think that's very cool. It gets hot in the summer there, and you really ought to cool down with a snowball. So grab yourself one. These are nice little bottles. I think 15 mils is a perfectly good size. That's half an ounce. It's plenty of ink. None of these even leaked a little bit in transit, which is very nice. They seal up well, and they're good bottles. You will probably want to start using a syringe when they get down pretty low to fill your pen, because they are a tall, fairly narrow bottle, but you can definitely get a pen in there to fill it with no problem. All right, let's take a look at what these look like on some swatch paper here. So here we have nectarine, which is a really beautiful orange. It's got some, to my eye, hints of sort of salmony pink in there, just a little bit here and there, but it kind of comes and goes as I look at it. So it might just be a trick of my brain, but in both the very fine and very broad dip pens, this ends up looking really nice. Then next up we have king cake, which I was surprised by. I don't think of king cake as being this color, and I asked them about that, and they said, oh, that's just a color the syrup is when they use this on a snowball. So if you get a snowball that's king cake, it's probably going to be this color, which is interesting because king cake's usually kind of a yellower cake, and it's got like purple and pink and yellow and that sort of thing in it, but you know, it's more of a yellow cake. This ends up being a really nice kind of raisin color. As you can see there, I've had a couple of inks recently that are this interesting raisin color, and I'm here for it. Also looks really good in both the fine and the broad strokes there. Looks like it's going to have some good shading. That's pretty cool. Next up, blue raspberry. This has got to be a classic flavor. Everything has to have a blue raspberry, and I think this looks really good. There was a really nice blue in the last set as well, but this one, blue raspberry, I think is the right color for blue raspberry for sure. It ends up looking really nice. Then, penultimately, cafe au lait. This is a cool color. I never think of a snowball tasting like coffee with hot milk, which is what cafe au lait is, but this is a beautiful color. I am really into this kind of color, especially when it comes down a little heavier. This might be a little bit on the light side. It ends up looking a little too tan or something for me, but this is a really beautiful kind of caramelly sort of cafe au lait color, I suppose I should say. Yeah, looks really good. And then lastly, this is the one I'm most uncertain about, and this is green apple, another classic color and flavor, of course, but I think this is going to be a little bit too light for me in most cases, but this looks nice. It's got a very vibrant, Granny Smith sort of sour apple look to it. Looks like a Jolly Rancher or I guess a snowball. So it looks really cool. I would advise putting it in something broader. I've had some inks that are in this color family before, and you want to have something that is either broad and wet or fine and wet to really get good color out of a light color like this. If you have a fine wet nib, it tends to pack all that color into a finer line than if you spread it out with like a stub. I know a lot of people are like, no, if it's light, you got to go with stubs. For me, that ends up spreading the ink out over a larger surface and making it even lighter. I like to go wet and fine with an ink like this. So yeah, quite the series. I think this is very nice looking. Here's the well, let's do it like this, and then I will take and put a graphic up here with the original set. So you can get this as a set of 5 15 ml bottles over at Papier Plume's site for $35, which means these are $7 a piece, and $7 for 15 mils of ink, especially like, handmade down in New Orleans, I think is a great price. You can also get them as a pack with both snowball sets. That's 10 inks for $60, which brings the price down, of course, obviously a bit on all of them. And that first set is really good. So, you can grab this as a two-piece set with 10 inks for $60. That's pretty great. And I'm psyched that they made that original set again. That's really neat. All right, that means that we just have this one left, and that is this Papier Plume box here. This is the usual box these things come in, and inside there is this nice little bottle. This is a very good and functional bottle. This is 30 mils, so twice as big as the other, and it's called Second Line. If you are familiar with New Orleans, you probably have heard of the Second Line. This is a tradition that started a long time ago in New Orleans. You'll see Second Line parades for funerals or for celebrations during Mardi Gras. There's a bunch of Second Line event sort of things that'll happen, and you'll have not just the band going through the wards playing jazz, but also just like people following it and like just dancing, and it's kind of amazing. It's a great celebration. They're always fun. Go and find yourself some videos of Second Line performances. I mean, I guess, but like it's like a celebration, and it's kind of great. I like that a lot. So this was done in combination with a local artist named Tony Hollums, and the graphic designer Antonia over at Papier Plume did the label. So pretty darn cool. Here is the top of this nice wax seal where you have the tuba here. You've always got to have a tuba for the Second Line, and I don't think it's ever a sousaphone. I don't know if I've seen a sousaphone. It's usually just a full-on like over the shoulder or just held upright tuba design, which is pretty rad. I also have here maybe a drum major staff and some other accompaniments here. This is really cool. The ink is $10 and it ends up looking like this, which is very interesting and complicated. Much like the origin of the Second Line. But it looks like a beautiful ink. Look at that grapey sort of violety color here. You've got a multi-chrome situation going on. It looks really interesting from the fine dip nib. You end up with like a little bit of a sort of a dusty kind of overcast purple color there. But when you put down a more ink, you end up with like, it's almost like it's definitely purple, but it's almost kind of tending toward that raisiny sort of look. And man, I really like it. I love the complication down here. I think that looks good with that multi-chrome action. Now, that's not the only thing that you get with this, or you can get with this, and that is you can also get the wax seal. So the ink itself is $10, and then they've made a custom wax seal of this right here. right there. And this will be 25 for the wax seal. And it might come with, actually, I think it probably will come with the wax stick, which is this nice purple. They said that they are waiting for some of this to get through customs, so we're still waiting on that. And there's probably going to be a combo that you can get with the ink and the seal. This comes off. You can use the handle for lots of different seals if you want to. It's very handy. But yeah, it looks really nice. I was a little concerned, like just looking at this immediately, I'm like, I don't know, that's a little bit shallow, that engraving, but it does come out looking really nice. So it's definitely deep enough to get that detail. I think that's cool. So yeah, I dig it. This purple is great. This purple is great. All of these colors are great. I mean, you know what? Good job, Papier Plume. I like what you've got going on here. I haven't tried these in pens yet, admittedly, so this isn't like a full-on review of any of these colors, but my experience with Papier Plume is that they always work super well. Go back and watch those older videos that I've made for Papier Plume, because I mean, they make great ink over there, and they do it in-house with like French components, and I think it's really cool. It's really cool. So go and check these out at their site. Go and find them at the DC Pen Show. If you're there, they will be there as well. I will be going to that table and definitely getting some things, because I know they've got some stuff that I want. I've just been like, not buying it, because I'm like, I'll see them in a couple of weeks, and I'll be really glad to see them, because they are good folks. So go there, tell them I said hi, and until next time, peace out.